Sweet children, Baba has come to make you children praiseworthy. Not that you should accept praise, not say you should want praise, worthy of praise. To be worthy of praise, you have to not want praise. So that means we shouldn't see any praise in the Brahma Kumaris of anything, anyone. Otherwise, clearly, one isn't speaking from self-realization. Baba's come to make you praiseworthy, similar to himself. You are now imbibing the Father's praise. So you only take praise from Baba. Why?
His is the only true praise that has no.
He's the only one who can speak the truth. He has no adulteration, no impurity, no influence, no attachment, no desire, no fear. Question: with which expression do people on the path of devotion, bhakti, call out and remember God, the beloved? With a lot of love, even though they don't know him fully. But they say this in devotion in Hinduism. They call out and remember him with a lot of love, saying, I will only remember you and break my intellect's yoga away from everyone else and connect it to you alone. So anything that deviates from that is influence of body conscious ego, attachment, vices, desire, fear. The Father says, children, I have now come. Therefore, I'm here. Finally, I'm here. So now become soul conscious. Without the knowledge, you wouldn't even know how to be soul conscious. Now I'm here. So while I'm here, be soul conscious while I'm before you. Your first duty is to remember the Father. Your first duty, first priority. Your first duty is to remember the Father with a lot of love. Everything else in your life has to revolve around that priority. Om Shanti. Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, who has taken on a body on loan, now sits here and explains to you, sweetest embodied souls. I enter an ordinary old body. I come and I teach many children. He only explains to you Brahmin children who are the mouth-born creation of Brahma. So if God only explains to Brahmins, they must be the most fortunate souls out of all of the souls. How come they don't have the happiness of being the most fortunate souls of all the souls? He only explains to you Brahmin children who are the mouth-born creation of Brahma. He definitely explains to you through a mouth. Who else would he explain to? He says, children, you were calling out to me on the path of devotion. Only Baba would know we were doing that. O purifier, everyone in Bharat and the world in general calls out to me. When Bharat was pure, all the rest were in the land of peace, soul world. You children should keep in your awareness what the golden and silver ages are and what the copper and iron ages are. Your intellects have the full knowledge of who used to rule there. Just as the Father has the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end of the creation, so your intellects also have this knowledge of beginning, middle, and end. You children should, so now you got to churn it in great detail, but Baba's giving you all the knowledge he has. So if you're getting all the knowledge that God has, and he says you already have it, you can never say, I don't know. You just can't. He says it's already in you. You know it. You're just unaware. But don't say, I don't know. You haven't churned it. You haven't deeply thought about it or applied it. Your children should also have the knowledge that the Father gives you. The Father comes and makes you children equal to himself. There is as much praise of the children as there is of the Father. Deities are praised. Saligrams are praised. The Father made you children even more praiseworthy than him. Always consider it to be Shiv Baba teaching through this one Brahma. It is the soul who speaks to other souls. However, because people are body conscious, they think that so-and-so is teaching. So the mind, intellect, sanskaras of Shiva are operating through Brahma's body. He doesn't have any sanskaras for speaking, so he has to borrow and use those sanskaras. But then Baba becomes an instrument. Shiv Baba's Karavanhar, Brahma becomes Karanhar. So he can't use his mind, intellect, sanskaras the way he wants to. He has to even renounce wanting to. In fact, it is souls who do everything. It is souls who play their parts. You have to become soul conscious. Repeatedly consider yourselves to be souls. Until you consider yourselves to be souls, you won't be able to remember the Father. They do that in religion. They're not very good at it, so because they don't know their souls. You will forget him. When you are asked whose children you are, you reply, you are Shiv Baba's children. There is a question in the visitor's book. Who is your father? They instantly tell you the names of their physical fathers. Okay, so what is the name of the father of all souls? Some write Shri Krishna's name, others write Hanuman's name, or they write that they do not know. Oh, you know your own physical father, but you don't know the Parlokik father, the father from beyond, capital F, whom you constantly remember when you're in sorrow. You don't know him. You even say, oh God, have mercy. Oh God, give us a son. You ask God, do you not? How do you do that if you don't know him? The Father now tells you something very easy. Because you remain body conscious a great deal, there isn't the intoxication of the Father's inheritance. So he contrasts these two aspects, right? He contrasts the aspect of you think you know because you've heard something, and you say and talk about him in such a personal way, but you don't know any of the details about him. Because you remain body conscious a great deal, there isn't the intoxication of the Father's inheritance. Body consciousness kills your intoxication. Heaviness, tiredness, I am doing, ego, vices. You should have a lot of intoxication. People perform devotion in order
To meet God.
to meet God. So if you do meet God, how intoxicated should you be? Well, Baba says, you didn't have to come meet me. I came to you. And yet nobody's intoxicated. To have sacrificial fires, do tapasya, to donate and perform charity are all
Bhakti devotion.
bhakti, devotion. Everyone remembers the one God. The Father says, I am the husband of all husbands and the father of all fathers. God is more of a husband than your husbands, more of a father than your father. But you don't realize that because you don't have experience. So if that is true and God was speaking, when I heard that, I'd say, gee, I better go find out what that feels like, what that experience is like. The Father says, I am the husband of all husbands, the father of all fathers. Everyone definitely remembers God the Father. It is souls who remember him, although they speak of a wonderful star shining in the center of the forehead. They say this without any understanding. They don't understand the significance of it at all, that it's talking about a point of light, the soul. You don't even know souls. So how could you then know the Father of souls? Those on the path of devotion have visions. On the path of devotion, they build huge shivlingams, those big oval-shaped stones, in order to worship them. Because if they were to show just the form of the point of light, which is the true form, no one would be able to understand it. They wouldn't understand the meaning of a point. These are very subtle matters. People say that God is infinite and an eternal form of light. They also say that he has a very big form. Those who belong to the Brahm Samaji sect of Hinduism, say that God is light. No one in the world, even the New Age, says that. So that's where they got it from. The first introduction of that concept was in Hinduism. Everything came out of Hinduism because all Hinduism came out of knowledge. And this is why they are confused. No one in the world knows the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul is the point. This is why they are confused. Some children even ask, Baba, whom should we remember? We have heard that he is a big lingam form and that he is remembered in that form. Now, how can we remember just a point? It was a shock even for the BKs. Oh, but you souls are points, and the Father too is just a point. You call out to that soul, and so he would definitely come and sit here. Hmm? So he comes. He says, I come. Well, if he comes, how does he come? Right? Is he bigger and unmeasurable and brighter than 1,000 suns, or is he just a point? And you wouldn't even notice he came. So in Christianity, they say he came like a thief in the night. He didn't even notice he came. All the vision, and so you could say all stealth technology is built on Shiv Baba, an invisible point coming into the body of Brahma, and nobody noticed. All the visions that people have on the path of devotion are just devotion. They don't worship just one, for they have made many into God. How can devotees who continue to perform worship ever be called God? If God is omnipresent, then whom are they worshiping? Then they're worshiping themselves. So if you're worshiping yourself, why you even have a name called God? They perform many different types of devotion. The father explains, children, don't think that you will live for many more years. The time is now coming very close. This is back, 60 years ago. But more, actually, right? Well, when the Murlis were spoken, yeah, 60, 40, 66 minus a few, so 60 some odd years. The time is now coming very close. Have the faith that Baba has to carry out this establishment through Brahma. The Father himself says, I tell you the secrets of the beginning, middle, and end of the world through this one. It is remembered that establishment takes place through
Brahman.
In Hinduism, it's remembered establishment takes place through Brahma, the creator. They don't know that the new world is called the land of Vishnu. This means the dual form of Vishnu. Lakshmi and Narayan is the dual form called Vishnu. They become the dual form of Vishnu and sustain the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Perfect man, perfect woman, complete harmony and balance. It should enter the intellects that the Father is the ocean of knowledge, that he is the seed of the human world tree. He knows the beginning, middle, and end of this drama because he's the ocean of knowledge. Krishna can't. They don't even have praise of Krishna being that. Never mind Jesus Christ is that. He alone is the purifier. Whatever is the Father's business, it is also
Your children's business.
your business. So service of the world is your business. That's the family business. Self-transformation is the family business. Purity and virtue, the family business. Uplifting everyone, family's business. Being a giver, not a taker, is the family business. How good are you at giving versus taking? And yet it's as much business as you're able to do. You also purify the impure. In the world, a father may have 3 to 4 children, and one of them may have risen very high, whereas the other one may have a very low position. Here, the father is teaching you the one business of how to purify the impure. There's so much fortune in that. Everyone becomes elevated. Give everyone the aim of what Shiv Baba says. Remember me. They have wrongly written in the Gita that God Sri Krishna speaks. You have to explain that God is incorporeal and he is beyond rebirth. That is the one mistake they have made in devotion. It's a big mistake. And we did the same in Christianity. We believed that Christ, there's a still argument today amongst Christians that Christ is God. No, he's the Son of God. And they say, well, he's both. He cannot be both. No, he's the Holy Spirit. Some will become part of the royal family. Others will become subjects. It is called the land of Sri Krishna because everyone has a lot of love for Sri Krishna. Children are very much loved by everyone, and children also have love for their parents. All their love is then distributed amongst many. The Father now explains, don't consider yourselves to be bodies. Constantly have the faith that each of you is a soul. So become soul conscious. The Father is incorporeal, and he has to take a body here in order to explain. He cannot explain anything without a body. You have your own bodies, and Baba takes a body on loan. There's no question of inspiration. So this is like the first lesson you have to teach. I'm the soul. This is the body I am in, or I'm the soul. I'm not this body. So there's no question of inspiration in this. I have to come in a body and speak to you. The Father himself says, I adopt this body to teach you children because you souls who have become totally impure, Tamopradhan, now have to become Satopradhan. They sing, O purifier, come, but they don't understand the meaning of it. You now understand how the Father comes and purifies you. You also know that there will just be your small tree in the golden age. You will go to heaven. So very small creation in the golden age. Very few souls actually become pure enough to go in the golden age. That's just the way it is. Right? Every cycle it will be like that. So those who are in that group, boy, are they ever lucky. They should be ecstatically happy. Other souls, they don't even know that happiness. So what do they know? They can't be that happy. And Baba says even all the other souls don't become as happy as Brahmins. They also don't become as sad as Brahmins. You also know that there will just be your small tree in the golden age. You will go to heaven, but no name or trace of any other lands will remain. It'll all be destroyed. No reminders of Iron Age or impurity. Only the land of Bharat will be heaven. Only the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul comes and establishes heaven. It is now
Hell.
hell. It was only in the ancient land of Bharat that the deities used to rule. They no longer exist. Deities are all destroyed. They're long gone. But temples to them and their images still exist here. We built them. Therefore, this is a matter of Bharat. So why did we build all those temples? To remember God, who we mistakenly thought were deities. So we built our own memorials and told everyone, remember God. Therefore, this is a matter of Bharat. It doesn't enter the intellects of any of the people of Bharat that Bharat was heaven, or Lakshmi Narayan were the masters, and that there was no other land then at that time. There are now innumerable religions. The people of Bharat have become corrupt in their religion and actions, karma and dharma and karma. They call Sri Krishna the ugly and the beautiful one. Sham Sundar is the praise of Krishna in Hinduism. It is said that Sri Krishna was bitten by a snake, and so he became ugly. So she told some story about Dadiji. Once was sleeping, they used to sleep on the floor, and a snake came onto her leg. Everybody was panicking, and they were all getting up to kill the snake. And Daddy just said, "No, I just sat there and I gave the snake drishti, loving drishti, because at that time I was a devotee." And she said, "Oh, this is a snake. This is Shiva, right? They think Shiva is a snake." So she just, yeah, and she said, happily, she sent the snake away. She didn't try to kill it. There's so many types of snakes. Some are poisonous, some are not in India. She has this thing with snakes. Remember the time of the story? She was sitting on the toilet in the washroom and a big snake came up through the toilet.
No, no.
Everyone laughed.
That
Dadiji was very animated. She would say things like that. No other Dadi ever talked like that. He was a prince of the golden age. So how did he become ugly? You now understand these things. Even the parents of Sri Krishna are now studying. Sri Krishna is remembered as being higher than his parents. The names of his parents are not remembered. Dadi had always been fearless. She saved a whole bunch of people when her upbringing from a fire. And Daddy was just saying, I'm not afraid of fire. I'm not afraid of water, air, or earth. Right? I'm not afraid of that. So that's got to be left over from being the experience and awareness of being the master of the elements. Generally, parents who give birth to such a child would be just as lovely, but no, all the praises of Radha and Krishna. The names of the parents are not remembered of Sri Krishna's parents, right? Because Sri Krishna's parents aren't as pure as Sri Krishna was. Krishna is the first deity born in the golden age. Krishna is the first deity born through immaculate conception, yoga power. You have this knowledge in your intellects. This knowledge is day and devotion is night. People continue to stumble in the darkness of the night. It is now explained to you, children, that you are to live at home and continue to do this service. Explain to everyone, you are the lovers of the one beloved for half the cycle. Everyone remembers him on the path of devotion, so they are all his lovers. However, they don't know the beloved fully, so they remember him with a lot of love. Oh, beloved, when you come, I will only remember you. But he doesn't come in the copper until the Iron Age. But it's not Iron Age anymore. It's the Confluence Age. That's the first birth of the next half of the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beloved, when you come, I will only remember you and will break my intellect yoga away from everyone else and connect it to you alone. Every one of you, to be recognizing Baba and hear the Murli, he said these words when you were a devotee on the path of religion. Because the memory that God came was always inside of you. You used to sing this, but you didn't know what inheritance you would receive from the Father. The Father now explains. So you can understand, if you have that memory inside and the feelings for God inside, you will recognize him when he comes and shares knowledge again. And all the other people in the class, they won't recognize. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not a good or a bad. It's just realization. Each one has a realization of their part in the cycle. The Father now explains, become soul conscious. It is the first duty of you children to remember the Father. A son always remembers his father, and a daughter always remembers her mother. So it's not a good or a bad, but it's great fortune to recognize God and less fortunate not to recognize God. But they're not bad people. They are equals. A son understands that he will be his father's heir. A daughter does not think in that way. In Hinduism, a daughter doesn't receive an inheritance. She would be aware that she has to leave her parents' home and go to her in-laws' home. They marry her off. You now have the incorporeal and corporeal parents' home. People call out, "Oh, Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, have mercy. Remove all of our sorrow and grant us happiness." These are the things they say in religion. Liberate us. Become our guide. However, even great scholars don't know the meaning of this. The Father is the liberator of all. He is the benefactor of everyone, not mostly everyone, everyone. Even if you don't go to heaven, he benefits you by freeing you from hell. If those people cannot benefit themselves, how could they benefit others? Here the Father says, and so when he says benefit themselves, if they can't purify themselves and liberate themselves from hell, they can't do that for others. How useful is devotion? Here the Father says, I come in an incognito way. You have heard the story of God, the friend, Kuda Dost. This is the bridge between the Iron and the Golden Ages, and you have to go across to the other side. Confluence Age is the bridge. God is the Father. He is also the friend. He also plays the part of the mother, the father, as well as
Teacher.
the teacher too. Because you have visions here. People say that there is magic here in the Brahma Kumaris. You know, they say, "Oh, don't look in their eyes. You know, don't take drishti from them. They'll cast a magic spell on you." Because then they have visions or they feel God, and then they want to join up and they think, "Oh, that was magic that made them do that." They wouldn't do that normally. Even those who do intense devotion have visions. There are many staunch devotees. They say, "Grant me a vision." Otherwise, this is what they said in intense bhakti. There's some very extreme bhakti devotees. "Grant me a vision. Otherwise, I will cut my throat." Only then do they have visions. And when they're like that, they have a vision of the God that they want to see, like Hanuman, some Murti, something. Right? That is called intense devotion. Okay. So if there are human beings who do that much remembrance of God, willing to die for God, jump down Kashi Kalvat and sacrifice their life, you, the ones who know God, how intense should your remembrance be? It should be very concentrated. It shouldn't be like tap water. There is no question of intense devotion here. Many have visions while sitting at home. I hold the key to divine visions. Nobody else ever gets that key. I also get granted a divine vision to Arjuna. It's a story called the Mahabharata in Hinduism, but it refers to this time. Arjuna was Brahma. He had 3 visions, actually. See this destruction. Now see your own kingdom. Now constantly remember me alone, and you will become this. You now understand who Vishnu is. That's your aim and objective. You have to become create the sanskaras of perfect, pure man and perfect, pure woman, because you're going to incarnate as both. Those who build temples do not know this themselves. Sustenance takes place through Vishnu. So Vishnu represents sustenance. That's the Trimurti picture that you had. 2 arms of the 4 arms symbolize the male, and 2 of the represent the female. The dual form of Vishnu represents Lakshmi and Narayan together, combined. However, no one understands these things. No one has any knowledge of either Shiv Baba nor of what was he just talking about? Vishnu. At first, there was the attraction of Baba, and many used to come. In the beginning, the whole courtyard would be full. Judges and magistrates also used to come. Then there was fighting over purity. If you read the Adidev book, then you'll know the history of the yajna and why our principles are what they are. Fighting over purity, and they began to ask, then how would the world continue if children aren't born? They're talking about through having sex. That is the law for the world population to grow, they say, in body consciousness. They forget the words in the Gita where God says that lust is the greatest enemy and you have to conquer it. They started saying, give knowledge to both husband and wife together, not just to one. However, it can only be given to both when both of them come together and want to hear the knowledge. The husbands didn't want to come. Even when this knowledge is given to both together, One would take the knowledge, the other one would not. What can you do if it's not in their fortune to hear this knowledge? Look at all the ones who came and heard knowledge. It wasn't in their fortune. There's nothing you can do. Oh, make that happen. You can make anything happen. The soul has it in their part, in their sense cards. It's part of their eternal CD, or it isn't. One becomes a swan, the other remains a stork. Here, you Brahmins are even more elevated than the deities. You know that you are the children of God. You are the children of Shiv Baba. You will not have this knowledge in heaven. Even when you are in the incorporeal world, the land of liberation, you will not have this knowledge. So everything is unique to every soul. You can't question why it's like that. Even when this knowledge is given to both together, one would take it, the other wouldn't. What can one do if it's not in their fortune? One becomes a swan, the other remains a stork. Here, you Brahmins are even more elevated than deities. You know that you are the children of God. You are the children of Shiv Baba. You will not have this knowledge in heaven. Even when you are in the incorporeal world, the land of liberation, you will not have this knowledge. You only get this knowledge in the last birth of the Iron Age, when God comes and creates the Golden Age. The Confluence Age. This knowledge finishes when your bodies finish. You now have the knowledge that the one Baba is teaching you now. This play is now coming to an end, and all the actors are present here. Baba too has come here. All the souls who still remain up there are continuing to come down. When they have all come down, destruction will take place, and the Father will take everyone back with him. Everyone has to return home. This impure world has to be destroyed. Acha, to you sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the Mother, Father, Bapdada, the spiritual father says namaste to you spiritual children, and
the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father.
Essence for dharana. Number one, do the same business as the Father, which is of purifying the impure. Give everyone the aim of remembering the Father and of becoming pure. Do the same business as the Father, which is purifying the impure, transforming the world. Give everyone the aim of remembering the Father and of becoming pure. That's your job. Your full-time job, actually, but you only do it part-time. 2, maintain the intoxication that this Brahman life is even more elevated than that of
Deities.
the deities. Break your intellect yoga away from everyone else and remember just the one beloved. Blessing. May you be loving and cooperative and achieve success in the service you do with the powers of love and renunciation. May you be loving and cooperative and achieve success in the service you do with the powers of love and renunciation. In the beginning, they had little power of this knowledge, but they achieved success on the basis of their renunciation and love. Day and night, their intellects had love for Baba and the
Family.
bigger, the whole
Yagya.
family, Yagya. And the words Baba and Yagya would emerge from their hearts. Yagya means the sacrificial fire, the organization, the institution, the task. This love made everyone cooperative. Centers were then created with these powers. They became Manmanabhav, embodiments of remembrance, soul conscious remembrance, with the love of the corporeal one, Brahma. The love of the corporeal one made them cooperative, and then they could recognize Shiv Baba, and then Baba would send them power, and they would go and start centers. So now continue to surround everyone with the powers of love and renunciation. If you just have love without renunciation, love without power, it's just attachment. Consider to surround everyone with the powers of love and renunciation, and you will be successful. Slogan. In order to become an angel, become free from. If you're an angel, you have to become free from what?
Worldly attraction.
Yeah, and all of that is makes you, huh?
Attachment.
All that. That's all the basis of,
Desires.
yeah, and that all creates the thing you're supposed to stop creating.
Free from
Karma.
waste.
Hmm?
Waste thoughts.
Wasteful words and words that would disturb others. Stop spreading waste through your mouth. Avyat signal. No matter what happens through matter or people, nothing should be able to shake your unshakable seat. You are that strong, are you not? When your body is not able to sit on that seat, it would continue to, even Brahmins, they can't sit still. So
Fluctuate.
it would continue to fidget. Would it not? In the same way, your mind is not causing fluctuation, is it? Remain constantly unshakable and immovable, and let there not be the slightest upheaval. If there is sometimes upheaval and sometimes stability, you'll then receive a throne at some times, but not at other times. You won't be a constant ruler because your mind isn't constant. Yeah, you won't be a deity for all the time from the beginning. You'll come later, so you're only a part of it time. Part of the time you're a deity. Om Shanti.